So this is the practice portion of the manufacturing process that we talked about on pages 99 to 100. And just look at a few of these real quick before I turn you loose on them. If you look at the table in the middle of the page on page 101, kind of doing the same thing we did in some of the examples we did in the manufacturing video that you just watched. So they give you sampling criteria for inspection. So for the most part, what they're just asking for is, or they're just telling you that out of 10 products that go by, you're going to take one of them and inspect it. The next one says every 8th item. So every 8th item you're going to grab hold of. The other one is 3% of the items. So we don't even know how many items are being taken here until we get to the next column. So in the next column, it says there are 370 going by. So what we're interested in is we're going to pick 1 out of 10, and there's 370. So how many is that? It's 1/10 of 370, or 1/10 times 370, which in this case you always put a whole number over the 1. So 1 times 370 is 370, and 1 times 10 is 10, and then you take your handy dandy calculator and divide that out, and you get 37. So that's how many items out of every 370 are inspected. The next one says every 8th, and there are a total of 1,280 of these items going by, and you're taking every 8th item. So you are taking every 8th item. That means that there's 1280. You're going to divide by 8 in order to get the total amount you inspect. All right. So for wherever it says every 8th, it says every 30th on number 6. That's when you divide. You take the 1280 divided by 8. Other than that, you're going to multiply. So like 1 in 50, 1 in 50. You're going to multiply that by 3,750. Okay? And that'll be 3,750 divided by 50, and use your calculator and figure that out. I think you get about 75. So that's what you're doing for the practice problems there. When you get over on page 102, you've got another big chart there that you're going to be filling out. It basically is the stuff we just did. You've got the number of items that are defective. You've got the number of items sampled. And you've got the number of items produced. And then they want the number of defective items. That's what you're looking for here, is this blank right there. All right, so how do you do that? Well, we did it in example number, what was it? It was example number 3 on page 100. We did the exact same problem. So we find out that out of the 2,000 products made, we pull 275 and we look at them, and this is how many of those 275 were bad. So let's look and see what we're going to do here. Number of items found defective is 8. Number of items that we look at is 275. So there are 8 bad ones for every 275. Well, they're asking how many bad ones are there when we have 2,000 from this number. So we just take 8 times 2,000 equals 275n. And you can just take this number and we'll put it below this one and make it go away. and just divide 16,000 by 275, and you get about 58-ish. So that's what you're going to do on every stinking one of these, just to give you some practice on how to make these proportion problems here. And that is it for the practice problems for this section.